Imagine another group of humans walking toward your camp. You do not know them. You do not know their language. You do not know if they are hungry. You do not know if they are armed. In the modern world, that might be awkward. But in the ancient world, that could be deadly. Because long before cities, laws, police, hospitals, or locked doors, humans lived in a world where safety was fragile. Food was not guaranteed. Water was not guaranteed. Shelter was not guaranteed. And trust was not guaranteed. So when we ask why ancient humans were so violent, we have to be careful. The easy answer is to say savage, but the deeper answer is more uncomfortable. Ancient humans were not violent only because they were cruel. Often they were violent because they were afraid. Afraid of hunger. Afraid of strangers. Afraid of losing shelter. Afraid of losing children. Afraid that one wrong decision could destroy the group. In that world, fear could become violence very quickly. Imagine your tribe has found a good place to live. There is water nearby. There are animals to hunt. There are plants to gather. There is a cave or shelter that protects people from cold, rain, and predators. To us, that might sound like a nice spot. To ancient humans, it could mean survival. Now imagine another group wants the same place. This is where conflict begins, because land was not just land. A river was not just a river. A cave was not just a cave. A hunting path was not just a path. These things were life support. If another group took your water, your group could suffer. If they scared away the animals, your group could go hungry. If they took your shelter, your children could freeze. So defending territory was not always about pride. Sometimes it was about staying alive. This is one reason ancient humans could become violent. The world was small, but survival needs were huge. And when two groups needed the same thing, peace was not always easy. Then there was food. Food is simple now for many people. You open a fridge, you buy rice, you order something, but ancient humans lived with uncertainty. Some days the hunt failed. Some days the plants were gone. Some days animals moved away. Some days winter made everything harder. Hunger changes the brain. A hungry person does not think like a comfortable person. A hungry group becomes more nervous, more defensive, more desperate. If another group appeared near your food source, you might not see them as neighbors. You might see them as danger. Because if they eat, maybe your child does not. That sounds harsh, but ancient survival was harsh. When food is certain, trust becomes expensive, and this is where strangers became frightening. Today, a stranger walking near your house might just be lost. In the ancient world, a stranger was a question mark with legs. They could be friendly. They could be looking for help. They could want to trade. But they could also be scouting your camp. They could be looking for food. They could be planning to attack later. The problem was not always that strangers were bad. The problem was that you did not know. And when the cost of being wrong could be death, fear became powerful. This is called suspicion. But ancient people did not need a word for it. They just needed to survive. So humans learned to trust their own group more than outsiders. Your tribe knew your face. They knew your voice. They knew your family. They shared food with you, and they protected you when you slept. A tribe was not just a group. It was shelter made of people. That is why group loyalty became so strong. If your tribe survived, you survived. If your tribe collapsed, you were in danger. So when the group was threatened, people defended it, sometimes with warnings, sometimes with threats, and sometimes with violence. But violence was not only between groups. It could happen inside groups too, because humans are social animals. And social animals compete. They compete for status. They compete for respect. They compete for attention. They compete for mates. They compete over who leads, who eats first, and who gets trusted. Ancient life did not remove jealousy. It probably made it sharper. If one person gained too much power, others might fear them. If one person took more food, others might resent them. If one person threatened the group might punish them. This does not mean every ancient camp was constant chaos. Humans also cared for each other. They shared food. They protected children. They healed the injured when they could. They told stories. They built trust. But that is exactly what makes the story complicated. Humans were capable of kindness and violence at the same time. The same brain that could protect a child could attack a stranger. The same tribe that could share food could fight another tribe for water. The same loyalty that kept people alive could make outsiders seem dangerous. And then, weapons changed everything. A human body is not very strong compared to many animals. But give that body a sharp stone, a spear, or a club, and suddenly the weak body becomes dangerous. A sharp stone could make a small person deadly. A spear could let humans attack from a distance. A club could turn anger into serious injury. This made conflict more dangerous than a simple fight, because ancient medicine was limited. A deep cut could become infected. A broken bone could mean you could not hunt. A serious wound could kill someone days later. So violence had a long shadow. It did not end when the fight ended. It could weaken the group. It could remove a hunter. It could leave children unprotected. It could start revenge. And revenge is another reason violence could continue. If one group hurt your group might want to answer back, not only from anger, but as a warning. Do not do this again. In a world without courts, laws, or police, revenge could become a rough form of protection. It told others, we are not easy to attack, but revenge has a problem. It does not always end the violence. Sometimes it keeps it alive. One attack creates another attack. One death creates another death. One warning becomes another reason to fight. Fear becomes violence. Violence becomes revenge. Revenge becomes memory. And memory makes the next stranger look even more dangerous. That is the cycle. This is why ancient violence was not just about one angry person. It came from a whole world of pressure, scarce food, valuable territory, dangerous wounds, fear of outsiders, group loyalty, weapons, revenge, and a life where survival could change in one bad day. But there is something important to remember. Ancient humans were not only violent. If they were only violent, they would not have survived. Humans survived because they could cooperate. They could care. They could share. They could teach. They could protect the weak. They could form families and tribes. Cooperation was one of our greatest strengths. But cooperation has a boundary. People often cooperated most with their own group. And when another group looked like a threat, the same protective instinct could turn dark. That is the uncomfortable truth. Violence did not always come from hatred. Sometimes it came from protection. Sometimes it came from hunger. Sometimes it came from fear. Sometimes it came from the belief that hurting first was safer than waiting to be hurt. And that is what makes this story feel so human. Because modern humans are different, but not completely different. We have laws now, we have hospitals, we have police, we have cities, we have ways to solve conflict without fighting. But the old instincts did not disappear completely. We still form groups. We still fear outsiders. We still protect our families. We still get angry when resources feel threatened. We still remember who hurt us. The difference is that civilization gave us tools to slow those instincts down. Rules, justice, conversation, trade, cooperation beyond the tribe. So why were ancient humans so violent before civilization? Not because they were monsters. Because they lived in a world where fear was close, hunger was real, strangers were risky, and survival was fragile. And when life is fragile, the brain does not always ask, what is kind? Sometimes it asks, what will keep us alive? That is the dark side of ancient humans, not pure evil, not random cruelty, but fear, pressure, and survival meeting in the same place. And maybe that is why the story is so uncomfortable, because ancient violence did not come from something inhuman. It came from something deeply human. The need to protect what matters, and the fear of losing it.